Greetings everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Thank you again so much for tuning in. I'm Simmer Chase, and today's episode number 56 of our speed builds. This one is very modern, and it's geared towards streamers. Yes, it's the modern streamer. Yeah, I'm so excited for you guys to be tuning in today, and if you haven't yet, please like and subscribe in the links below. And as always, stay proud and go do something magical. Now, today we are doing something really fun. I'm making this build that's totally geared towards streamers. It's got a party space. It's got a huge gourmet kitchen. It's got tons of bedrooms. And then there's even some other little kid rooms and things right by the main streamer studio. So in the basement, there's a whole studio and even its own subterranean entrance to actually come in and go down into that space. And I'm so excited for you guys to see it. I'm just going to be quiet and get going now. So let's go ahead and dive in now. I am so stoked for you guys to see this one. It took me a while actually to build this because I initially started like back in March, but then like we hadn't got all the modern content. Then we had, all the farming kind of stuff pop up and a lot of the country sort of stuff. And so then I was like, I'm going to put this one on the back burner and go focus on some cottages and then come back to this modern one. So it really could have honestly been built out the way that I had kind of finished it in March. It looks clean, it looks plain, it looks like, modern. But then I was like, I'm going to take this a step further because initially I was going to make it for like a modest house where it was like more for a lower income streamer that's just starting out. But then I thought more about like, wow, what if it was a streamer that really had the cash, the views, unlike me, but someday hopefully. And I was like, what if I make something that would be really fun and geared towards that really fancy streamer, that kind of has a couple kids now, and a lot of expectations in a house and just needs like everything to the nines and a lot of room. So that's why we have this like second level down here that I built, and then sort of like this really fun catwalk out there. So you can even have like a really fun, like almost like fashion show if you wanted, right off your back and yard and everything. And then you just kind of have all this like room and space to kind of do whatever you want, including going up on the pool, up on top, that just came together here. And then also you just want to have all those Insta-worthy moments, as I call them, where you just want to take an Instagram photo or a Simstagram photo and toss it right up on the internet without any filters really, and not much, effort or time to put in that way. And so I wanted to build around that and kind of thinking about like, hey, like what would somebody really want that's super luxe, that wants a lot of detail, and then also just a lot of features to be able to stream, or you could easily raise a family here. But the fun thing about it is more than anything is that you could actually like do any sort of streaming here, because I set it up where if you're a gardening streamer or a yard, like talking about your yard or your garden, you can do that. Or if you want to do a cooking blog or cooking streaming, and that kind of stuff, then you definitely can as well. Same with woodworking, and then a lot of other fun ones. So here is our design of sort of I did a top and then I did the bottom of a slightly different color, just to kind of make it pop out a little bit more. And then I actually did like a double decker sort of bar here so that it just, again, is all about creating that really, really awesome, really rad experience of being able to have those unforgettable moments and really help people and streamers, um, both in the game and then also in real life too, because it definitely is a really fun showstopper that would look really good on video, I think, for about any story you'd want to tell. So I am getting together all the living room now, and I kept waffling on what I want this couch to look like. So, and I was kind of getting some creative advice as I was going along about like, hey, maybe you should add more color, and make it more bright and colorful. And I'm like, yeah, I'll try that. So I just started kind of modifying some of the things from just plain white. Everything was just super white and gray. And then I started kind of playing with the color a little bit and blending some of that stuff and just adding in all the extra little things into the nooks and crannies of the house so that everywhere that you looked, there was just something to really catch your eye and really make you think like, wow, that's a fun space. I'd love to be in it, or I'd love to film from it, or do your little blogs or videos for cooking or farming or whatever you want to do. And I really enjoy those lamps too. Those are some of my favorite lamps. Like seriously, those, like almost every build I have, I end up putting those like industrial looking lamps in. And tons of clutter too. That's like another thing that I'm really, really, really known for basically. And another thing here is I really, really like going and adding in the blinds, but then kind of layering them to where they're different sizes so that they just a little more used looking and maybe a little more full, but then kind of allowing only certain things then kind of show through. So it's really good to kind of visualize what you want to see from the outside looking in and then kind of block out what you don't with the blinds and curtains. So I've done a lot of layering there with those themes as well. So we have that. And then I actually went through here and wanted to really just make it huge in the yard. And then once I got the yard big, then I was like, okay, now I have enough space and know where I'm blocked out from being able to build in the basement. So then I came down the basement. Then I ran out of space and then did the sub basement. So it's got this really awesome theater that I tried to make as like old timey feeling as possible, because I feel like a lot of streamers, like we tend to just sort of gravitate towards things that have like feel authentic and feel very sturdy and quality kind of driven. And so that's why I try to do as many of these little like textures and elements that I could, like even embedding those like strip lights or piling on the palm trees in the back to make it look like it's just this big like sprawling sort of growth of palm trees coming out of that area. And then just to give it a lot of really exciting, really fun brightness, no matter if it's day, night, storming, not storming, it's always something to look at that's really cool. And as you can see here, I really kind of played up sort of the ranch feel on the top too. So it almost feels like a whole nother house up here, even though it's just this tiny little sliver of a building. It still has the bathroom, a lot of really fun like party elements in there. And then I kind of created these, like what I'm calling my like doves or butterflies, but they're the two like little hooks of lights that I set up there on the outside, the 45-degree angle lights, just to kind of give it like a little bit of extra, because I felt like it was so plain in the back that I thought it would just make a lot more sense to kind of bring in some more lighting in ways that, because I really kept toggling it and it was dark and I'm like, gosh, it's dark in this area, it's dark in there, and I didn't want it to be that way. I want it to be very bright. So we've got that. And then of course all the natural sort of elements, earthy tones here as you're seeing in the preview. Through the video, I kind of do a lot of snaps and go in between, like showing you what it actually does as a functioning thing or how it looks as a finished product. So then you don't have to like wait till the very end to see it, but you can always skip if you want. And so now I am doing all of the fun bathroom. This is the main master bathroom. So I wanted to really give it some spit and polish here. So it's got the really nice like walkout terrace on the second floor. It's got just a and then I did my name too. That was funny. Like but I was like, I hope people don't get annoyed by this. But like I was like, I want to put some solar panels up here, but it'd be funny if I did like my real initials, which are then my streaming initials backwards. So my real initials are CS, but then I also have SC, which is Simmer Chase, obviously. So I like that they play together. But yeah, so I was like just really enthralled with kind of making sure that the lighting was really good, but then also these bathrooms. So here's the second ancillary bathroom that kind of services around all the family sort of functioning stuff where you could kind of have your own master suite upstairs and away from everybody. And then everybody else is like downstairs, and maybe you have like your in-laws or somebody living with you. And then I also piled our classic lights together. I just put those together to give them sort of that bead look or like that retro vibe. Because again, I think it's a lot about creating that nostalgia and then sort of just like the unique element so that it's individualized, personalized, and unique, but then also has those like very sturdy characteristics and strengths to it. Here's part of our master suite coming back together again. So this is fun because I really liked being able to make the custom showers for both of those. And I did like the platform one and the second one. The first one I did that really fun, just like the windows. And the easiest way to do that is just do your little tiny room and then add some windows. And then before you add the windows, make sure to go ahead and add in like pick your trim. So then you've got your windows in, then put the trim in, then make sure your columns are in before you put the windows, because then it'll all just fit in perfectly. So again, it's wall, then windows, then trim, then like doorways, that kind of stuff you could do, or you could even knock out that hole if you wanted, just kind of depending on how you want to look at it and how you want it to function. And then this room again was like sort of the same vibe of like, oh, I need to make this a little less plain. So I made it really fun by adding in this like custom fireplace, because it was like this really large hallway to get around all the different themes. So you can kind of see how it works as I'm putting it together. And then I decided to go ahead and make it feel like sort of a mantle vibe. And then this is one of 2 embedded fireplaces that this house has actually. Because again, I'm like trying to make it for the bougie streamer, and then also for the real life streamers that want something really cool to have on our channel or look at. So here's the male and female, or he, them, they, locker rooms that we have for the streaming facility that also goes to the fitness facility or fitness center and the wellness spa, because it's all about making sure that you look awesome, which right now I need like a treatment, all kinds of stuff, but my face is like a little, I need to stop touching it. But anyway, so I was like, yeah, I want to do like a really fun locker room for both in here. So we've got that. And then also just kind of giving it all, all the amenities to the nines, so that it's just really, really fun to kind of use and belong to, and to kind of have a sense of belonging. And so that's where you get like these public restrooms as well that I did, because you don't want your like people you have, like the bands, the acts, the people that may come to your streaming sessions or your yoga sessions or your instructor going and using your own personal facilities upstairs. So yeah, there's laundry room downstairs to service all this, as well as then the locker rooms and the bathroom too. And then I'm just kind of pulling together all these other elements just to kind of, again, make it feel homey, and then also to make it feel like a streamer would live here that's successful. And so there's just a lot of different things that I have between the spa stuff, and then also like these really expanded laundry rooms. This is the second one that services the downstairs. So the upstairs isn't quite as big. Here it is, it's going in now. So there's the upstairs one. And then the other one was then, downstairs servicing all the other stuff. So now I am doing the second fireplace. This one I liked because I did a pyro hydro water feature, fire feature wall. Is so I call it the pyro hydro feature wall, which has the water and then the fire. And with it, I made it both sides with windows on both sides. So then you can look through it from the master or through the living room. So you have that feature as well in here because again, I've seen a lot of videos and movies and stuff where people have those really fancy, like both sided aquariums, both sided fireplaces and all kinds of different things all going on in their spaces. And I'm like, yep, I need to build this sometime. And then I was like, this would be the perfect build for that. And then here's like maybe your Kylie Jenner's or your fancier, like, billionaire streamer simmer types, as I would say. They have their kids and everybody, and they've got everything they could possibly need or want pretty much. So I'm like, yeah, I need to build a space for them too, so they can go play while mom or dad or everybody's streaming and have everybody over streaming and partying or whatever they're doing. So there's a place that they can go and just chill, no matter what age they are. So there's all kinds of toys and different configurations and that sort of vibe of one size doesn't fit all. So I've kind of created a room for every type just so that everybody's got something and can find something that they like. So here is our build. It came by quick, I know, but it was actually 40 hours of video that I cut down. And if it was too fast for you, which I'm sure it was, then you can definitely scroll here through our beginning and just kind of like get a good peek here at all of the stack and how it all came together. And then here's my modern neighborhood. So now it is mostly complete. So we have a restaurant I built, plus then there's a couple other buildings there around, and then the J Shell challenge that I did, his shell I did as well. And that's over here too. So here is our interior. So you can get a good spin here. And then there's also a good photo deck at the end that'll kind of give you the whole like really good spiel of everything and like a really good crisp, clear photo. So you can see the photo deck at the end here. So we ended up going with the gray and white just to try something different. I wanted to pull the countertop color in more with the cabinets and kind of make it blend in together. And then the dining room, I loved how that came out. The fruit sort of wheel looking flowers I like the most. Like I like that a lot. Oh, and then funny enough, like it was so silly, but I accidentally forgot that to like turn BB move objects on. It seems to like just randomly turn off. And so I was like, crap, I accidentally like deleted my stairwell and my staircase. And I'm like, crap, okay, so I gotta add that. So I added that back. And so now we're doing like another tour around and you can see kind of how it looks like day and night. And I really like doing this sort of like piece on my videos, my tours, so you guys can get a good feel for how it looks like no matter what time of day. So if you're like, I might get that. No, you definitely should go and download this. Yeah, absolutely. Because I think you would really enjoy all the features that are here. And it doesn't take very long to load because it doesn't have any CC as always. So yeah, it's definitely really good to definitely consider this because I like don't build with CC. I like CC, it's pretty and stuff, but I always want to make builds that are as accessible as possible. So I don't want like people to have to go and find a bunch of stuff or wait for it to run forever. So now we have this other little breeze by that I'm doing of these rooms so that you can kind of see how everything came together because there's just a lot of stuff that I did and made because I just kept wanting to add more and like, oh, let's add these things, let's move this and then build this room. So then that's kind of what we were getting there with like the kids stuff and in the basement because I just knew all these things that I wanted to make, and at the same point I limited myself because I didn't want to like keep expanding out and out like I usually do and kind of create like sort of parameters around it for myself. So here is our little pyro hydro feature in function. So you can see how that works. And then we're just coming back around here and looking at this bedroom too. Here's the other side. So you can see the master suite with it. Oh, and then here's the bathroom that goes along with it, with the big, like, really fun sort of vibe on the whole eclectic vibe of it, like here with a plant wall, and then you had before with just the way that the room was sort of like spread out, but still had quite a bit of clutter and things in it. And then here is our wellness center. So you've got your massage area. Before that was the fun like sauna area, and I know a lot of people like it. But funny enough, like I was in the middle of building this when the updates were coming out, and I was like, okay, cool. Now there's like better spa day stuff, so I can actually make like a really good spa day sort of like space. And I thought that it'd be even funny, like more funny, because I've heard of these like celebrities getting like palm readings and fortune telling and stuff, or having like spiritualists. So that's when I was like, yeah, I want to do this. So in case like they need a quick pep session or like some sort of reading beforehand, or maybe even a seance before they go on stage or they go for their shoot, then it's all there. So there's even a ready room in that bathroom too. And this is, I got some compliments on it, but I really like doing that when you're out of space, like in a bathroom, but do need a double vanity. So you can just do the partial wall and then put a vanity back to back and then mirror back to back. And then you've got your dual vanity. It's just kind of a different way to look at it and solve the problem with the space you have. Alrighty, so here now we are looking at the outside of the pool, and I really liked how the pool was, but I could have did like the windows and all that kind of stuff like tradition or people do, but I was like, no, I'm gonna use this for some feature walls. So that's when I did like that cool plank right there, which is just various scaling with the bracket keys up and down to make it smaller, bigger, and then kind of, putting those in position to where they look like that. And then it kind of creates that sort of lattice work looking, or like lateral lattice. And I just really love being able to do the pergolas too. And this is the biggest one I made yet. And so it was really fun. There's our start out. That's where it was at the beginning. And like I said, I really thought it was like, okay, but I was like, it needs to be more. So this is what it became. And so there's the bottom level, the mid level, top level, and then the roof deck. So you guys can get a really good view. And then here's our neighborhood, the modern neighborhood. Okay, now all of these are like exterior, more of the front facade. I just really loved how I was able to kind of blend all that together and make it look like something modern, sophisticated, but then also eclectic, have a lot of personality, and then just a lot of like really good individualized sort of material features that really just sort of, set it apart from like a traditional build. So now I have the other, you can see more of the stack again, but at night. And then out here in the back, I just really loved how it all came together. And I don't know, it feels inviting, I guess you could say, a little bit even. And the backyard, at first I had actually started a pool as well, but then I was like, I don't need two pools when I already have this really cool one on the roof and they're gonna not end up using it. So that's when I like made it more of that like really fun like kid area, splash pad sort of type area with a little baby pool, and then just a lot of other stuff that you could kind of do besides that taking up space. And then did that fun like it still went with the hot spring then on that other side. And then here's the way the kids' rooms came out. I just wanted to make sure there's a lot of room for the kids, because in case somebody wants to do a baby challenge here as well, they can definitely do that, as well as be a streamer or whatever they want to do. It exists and it's here and it's on the gallery now. So you guys can go download it if you want. I would be so stoked if you did. It's already been downloaded a few times, like a few. I'm not sure quite exactly how many, but I try not to look too much at the numbers because I I really just more or less want to get my designs and ideas out there to you guys and sort of like the way that I play the game, and then just, have you sort of go with it. And I'm definitely open to any sort of feedback or criticism as well, because I'm always looking to do better and to help others do better and learn. Because I feel like if the community is successful, then I'm successful. And that if I'm doing what makes sense, like for the gallery, like I always try and look for those little pockets of things I haven't seen many of or many designs of, and then I go try and do that. So you'll see, me do like recreations at times as well. But then I just had this vision months ago of like, oh man, it'd be so neat if I could make a house for streamers, of streamers about streamers. And so this is our house. So it's fun. All of the makeup chairs, all the really bright areas, no matter wherever you are, you can get a really good selfie, even in your closet. Um, there's many. And then I always recommend on building sort of in like a square pattern. When you do your masters. So then you can go from like bedroom to bathroom to like a sitting area, or what I call the ready room, and kind of go in there, unwind, relax, get ready without the kids, without the mess, without the mudroom kind of thing. You can have your own personal space to get ready, put your shoes on, all that kind of stuff. And it's all about like just that tranquility right when you come into your own space that's away from everybody else, all the crazy, and the streaming room downstairs, and you can just chill. So thank you so much, everybody, and I hope you have a great day and stay proud. Go out and do something magical, and I'll see you next episode.